Going on, Falcon fans? This your boy Ricondo come back at you with another video. So guys, you know what we talking about today is the Falcons free agency. The first 2 days of free agency, these guys have really been putting in the work. We knew they had a plan. They laid out their plan today, and we're going to talk about it. Every deal that they made, and potentially some more deals that could be coming up. So guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. And please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So guys, the Atlanta Falcons come right out the bat Monday early with the first move that they made was not a free agent sign. It was actually a trade with the New England Patriots for a 7th-round pick for Jonnu Smith. Yes, former tight end that played with Arthur Smith that had his breakout season. Actually, what got him paid by the New England Patriots. You know, sometimes things just don't work out. And that's why when you talk about players playing with teams and a lot of sports, it's always talking about the fit and how things work. And for some reason, Jonnu Smith got his money. He got paid, but it just didn't work out for him in New England. Could not, put up the same numbers that he did when he was with the Titans. So he's back with Atlanta. It's 2 years left on his contract, about $10 million a year. But the word is out that he is planning on restructuring that contract, to lower that cap number, which will be good. So I think this is a good trade for the Atlanta Falcons. Giving up a 7th-round pick, it's not a big deal. They restructured the contract. It's really going to be good. But if he could recreate some of the things that he did with Arthur Smith, him and Kyle Pitts, that's double tight end look is really going to be explosive. He's an explosive tight end. If you go back and look at some of his plays, like I said, just did not work with the New England Patriots. But it's all about the fit, guys. We're going to talk about the fit a lot today when we talk about these signings that the Atlanta Falcons did. And like I said, the first move that they made was to do that trade for Jonnu Smith from the New England Patriots, only for a 7th-round pick. Terry Fontenot is willing and dealing. The plan is in full effect already. All right, the next move that they went ahead and make, we talked about this as well. Chris Lindstrom locking up our All-Pro right guard that we got. Probably the best guard in the league. 5-year, $105 million contract. They picked up his 5th-year option, but go ahead and get that money out the way. He's going to play on this year's contract and then the 5-year option pick up next year. But I think he actually gave us some cap relief with this signing. So this also was big for us, getting our guard locked up, All-Pro guard locked up, and then actually giving some cap relief in return. I think the word was about $9 million in cap relief for this season based on this deal extension that Chris Lindstrom was able to get. This is a no-brainer. We knew this was going to happen. Didn't know it was going to happen this soon, but this was the second move, chess move off the board, 2 down, and the Falcons started to get running. I think they was the most aggressive team in day one, and like I said, they made a lot of good, savvy moves that we're really going to talk about. The next move that they made, they actually went out and signed David Onyemata from the New Orleans Saints, right? And we talk about fit again, guys. This is somebody. We talked about a guy like Brandon Graham, who got paid a lot for the San Francisco 49ers. We're not going to talk about how good that team is going to be on the defensive front, but going to get a guy like Onyemata is definitely good because that familiarity with Ron Nielsen and why he liked to play. This guy here actually had 43 tackles, 5 sacks. He had 11.4 pass pressure rate to the quarterback, which is ranked 11th for all defensive tackles. This is a good signing. They got for 3 years, $35 million. Another good deal. Like I said, this is one of those underrated signing because We could have got some of those big name defensive tackles. You go look at some of the contracts they signed, you know, and you compare them to this deal with Amiyata. I think this is really good because the familiarity with Ryan Nielsen. And now Grady Jarrett actually have a defensive tackle that can create the same kind of pressure that he create. And then I can only imagine what a guy like with Taquan Graham as well. That three-headed monster is definitely is going to wreak some havoc. Got to be able to stop run. Got to be able to get the pressure with the front four. This is a good start for the Atlanta Falcons. And hey, maybe double down again in the draft if somebody like Jalen Carter fall to the number 8 overall spot. So I love this signing. Going to get a former Aints. And another thing, you think about it, we weaken our NFC South opponent as well. Our rivalry. We love to see that, correct? So good deal. Another chess piece off the board. You gotta love it. Going to get David Amiyata. Then, of course, you gotta be able to sign some of your guys, your own guys that's on the roster. We locked up Chris Lindstrom, brought back Keith Smith as well, the fullback. Had to bring him back. The contract details on that, but we know how important Keith Smith is in the run game. His veteran presence that he actually has is something really good. So I love Keith Smith signing to come back. Also bringing back Bradley Pinion. Our partner locked him up for 3 years, $8.65 million. Good signing. He actually punted the ball really well last year for us. I think special teams one of our better years from a special team standpoint last year with the field goal kicks, the kicking game. Of course, we got a return. We had the number 1 punt returner in the league for as yards with Avery Williams. So I thought special teams did it good. You want to be able to, pay your guys and bring a guy back. And I think Bradley Pinion is already really good. We already had brought back Liam McCullough, our long snapper. So bringing back Bradley Pinion was really a good signing for us. Then what everybody had been waiting for, right? Everybody had speculated this signing, and it took all day, pretty much all day to hear it. But finally, the Atlanta Falcons locked up Jesse Bates, the third, probably the best safety in the free agency market. 4-year deal, $64.2 million. The deal is really loaded heavy in the front. First 2 years can get up to about $36 million guaranteed, which is good because you front load the contract and then you'll be able to have cap flexibility later on in the future. Jesse Bates, we always talked about having a playmaker in the secondary. That's exactly what Jesse Bates III is. Match him up with a guy like Richie Grant is really going to be huge. And AJ Terrell, Casey Hayward coming back. J.C. Bates had 71 tackles last year, 4 interceptions, 8 pass defense, 1 forced fumble. Like I said, this guy is a playmaker. If you go back and look at the highlights, he plays that center field real well. He come downhill. He no hesitation with his motions. He really reads and reacts fast on every play. I love the way Jesse Bates plays, and this is what we really needed. Like I said, we need a playmaker in the secondary. And if we can put this thing together with AJ Terrell, Richie Grant, who really showed a lot of improvement in his year 2, savvy veteran, and with Casey Hayward, still got to lock up that nickel spot. Don't know who that's going to be yet. Maybe they bring back Isaiah Oliver. We don't know. But I really like bringing in Jesse Bates. Good deal. Then the last signing for yesterday was Caden Ellis. Under the radar signing because didn't really know a lot about Caden Ellis, but another guy from the Aints. A lot of familiarity with Ryan Nielsen as well. Like I said, weakened another one of our NFC South opponents. Got him for 3 years, $21.5 million. He only started 11 games, but he had 78 tackles, 10 quarterback hits, and 7 sacks. Yes, he had more sacks than anybody on our team. This guy has a really good ability actually brushing the quarterback. If you go look at his highlights, they line him up all over in pressure packets. I think they're going to be able to utilize him a lot alongside Troy Anderson, who hopefully can jump from year 1 to year 2 as well. This is really going to be big for us. Like I said, underrated signing in my books. I think Caden Ellis is definitely going to bring in dividends for us. I guess that means Rashaan Evans probably not going to be coming back to the team. We wish him best of luck, but bringing in Caden Ellis, another guy who's knows the system already, bringing that familiarity in with Ron Nielsen and taking it away from the New Orleans Saints. You gotta love it. I really, really love it. All right, going into day 2, right? Early in the morning, first thing in the morning, like I said, Falcons first on the board again, signing Taylor Heineke, Georgia native, coming in. I think this right here notifies everyone that probably Desmond Ridder probably is going to be quarterback 1 going into training camp. But with bringing in Taylor Heineke, I think it's a good move to come in, somebody to actually push Desmond Ridder to be the best version of himself. Not guaranteed spot, but I think he's going in. He's going to be the quarterback 1 going in, but he's going to have to prove himself because Taylor Heineke is a real competitive guy. If you go back and look at some of the games he played, you have to go look at his history. XFL, coming in, playing for the Commanders. Actually played 9 games last year with 8-3-1. My 5-3-1. Sorry about that, but 18 touchdowns. I think 12 interceptions, something like that. Not the numbers, not that good, but at the same time, has 28 starts under his belt. This is a good veteran to bring in, somebody to push Desmond Ridder. I think they want Desmond Ridder to be the guy, but he's gonna have to go out and earn it. His deal was initially reported for 2 years, $20 million, but if you go look at the numbers, it was actually 2 years, $14 million, probably about $10 million guaranteed. It's good for a good price for a backup quarterback coming in, but I think Taylor Heineke is going to push Desmond Ridder. Do this mean they're not going to go out and get a quarterback in the draft? Not necessarily. They still can go out and draft a rookie quarterback. But this right here gives them the security to make sure they don't have to reach and try to go out and get somebody. They actually can go in and actually now go through the draft like they need to. That's the whole part about free agency, going out and getting some of your needs and things like that. And you have to love the fact that they went out and got a veteran quarterback. Looking at this list, looked like they hit every mark that they had to hit for its need, bringing in depth into every positions. And then the last thing that they did today was bring back Caleb McGarry. And we talked about this. I wanted Caleb McGarry back, but I did not want him at that $17.7 million number that had his cap. If we would have franchise tagged him, so they was able to get him for 3 years, $34.5 million, which I think is a good deal. If you go look at some of the other right tackles that came off the board in day 1, they actually went for a lot more than that. So I think the Falcons hold fast, stay steady, realize they were not going to overpay for a guy like Caleb McGarry. He actually played really, really well this last season, but if you go look at his entire career, the first 3 seasons, it was up and down. So I really think this is a fair contract for Caleb McGarry, and I'm happy that he's back, to go right alongside Christian Lindstrom. I think that duo had the chemistry there, and we do not want to change too much on the offensive line because so much success that we had this year. So guys, let me know what you think about all these transactions that the Atlanta Falcons have made in the last 2 days. Hopefully, sometime tomorrow when the new league year starts, these guys sign their contract. We actually get how much cap space they have left. The word out, they might have about 20 to 25 to 15 million left, which is good, because if that's the case, they can actually go out and go back to what you did the first 2 years and go get some bargain deals. I still think we need to address the wide receiver position, which not many wide receivers have came off the board as of yet. We really need to look at that. Maybe cornerback, if we could get a veteran cornerback to come in as well. Like I said, we need to tighten up that nickel position. We can go out and find some guys to cover those spots. So when we get in the draft, we can really go BPA, best player available. At 8, if we got all our depth pieces covered, we can go out and get the best player on the board. And if it so happen to be a guy like Bijan Robinson, right, an offensive guard there, another cornerback there, anybody we can get at BPA, that's what we need to take. But if we can go out and address a couple, the last couple of needs that we have in this free agency period, it really would be good. So once the numbers come out, we'll go back and look and see how much cap space the Atlanta Falcons have left and see what they actually can really do. We know they're really good at going out, find guys, giving those guys 1-year deals to prove themselves. Maybe that's the route they take with the last little money they got. Of course, we know we have to keep some money for our draft class as well. But so far, guys, I give the Atlanta Falcons an A for the moves that they made the first 2 days. I really want to hear what you guys think. I think they hit every mark that personally I felt that they should hit. Some of the guys, like I said, were on the radar. Didn't expect them to sign some of these guys, but looking at the moves they made, I understand each move that they made and why they made the moves. And I think it's going to pay dividends for the Atlanta Falcons this upcoming season. They are putting together a roster that can compete in NFC. If you go look at NFC, the NFC is definitely going to be a weaker conference because all the quarterbacks in an AFC. If you're looking our division in, I think the Aints are really having a hard time. They're losing all their talent. They got the most veteran quarterback in the division, but if you're looking at their roster, they really got to try to piece it together and try to make sure that they can be competitive this year. I'm really worried about the Carolina Panthers because I thought they had a good day as well yesterday. You can see that they signed Andy Dalton today. We don't know which quarterback that they're going to actually go pick up. I'm thinking by signing Andy Dalton to that 2-year contract that they signed him to, maybe they get Anthony Richardson. Maybe that's the guy they want, and they're planning to let him sit a year. I'm not sure what they do. But if they do that, I know a lot of teams will be happy because Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud will be still sitting out there as well. So it's going to be interesting what the Carolina Panthers got. Do they have a long day? They got to April the 28th, 29th to figure out who they're actually going to draft at that number 1 position. But that team in particular, I think that's the team the Atlanta Falcons definitely going to have to worry about in our division. It's the Carolina Panthers because of the defense. They had a solid defense. And then depending what they do on the offensive side, they did give up their number 1 receiver. That was strange in that trade. But not really worrying about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Another team that's really coming off the Super Bowl high with Tom Brady and trying to make that playoff run, just like the Aints. So I think it's going to be a 2-team race in NFC South. But Carolina Panthers is the team that I'm worried about. But Atlanta Falcons definitely made all the right moves so far. Can't wait to see what other moves they're going to make. I know they're not done. Just 2 days in. Of course, you guys still got to remember, guys, the pro days are starting. So we got some guys out working the phones for free agency, but we also got our scouts and our coaches and things out at the pro days as well, making sure that we get a look at these rookies because you still have to build your team through the draft. You fill in the holes through free agency, but you want to build your team through the draft, and that's evidence to our young team that we have currently right now with our young pieces from our first 2 drafts. So, guys, that's all I have. Let me know what you think about day 1 and day 2 of the free agency frenzy. Tomorrow will definitely be the new league year. And everything can start to, things won't stop. We'll see what the Falcons, what moves they make next. This is your boy Ricondo coming back back at you with another video. Peace.